Hey guys, it's Chad with Eternal Midnight. So I know normally we talk movies on this channel, but over the past probably, I want to say 7-8 months, I've really gotten into the Metroid series. And I'm not the world's biggest gamer. Like, I've played video games ever since I was a little kid. You know, I've started out with the original NES, skipped the Super Nintendo, my parents wouldn't get me one, then Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, and just so on until here we are today with the, Switch. But I want to say last summer, I was just kind of like looking for a new game to get into, and I tried Super Metroid many times on my SNES Mini, and I could just never really get into it for the weirdest reason, which I'm sure many of you are going to laugh at me for. So finally I decided to give it another shot last summer. And I played it for about 5 minutes, same thing, and I'm like, this is so stupid. I'm like, what do people like about this game? Then I went back to the main screen, and I took a look at it, and my eye caught on something. How to map the controls. That is why I couldn't stand it, because I just did not like the controls. I'm like, this is so awkward. I can't figure out how to get... I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. So going back and remapping the controls to the way I preferred changed everything, and I blasted through Super Metroid, and I loved every minute of it, and I tried my damnedest not to cheat. I'm not gonna lie, there was one spot where I did, just one time I did, but other than that, I didn't cheat on any of the bosses, I didn't cheat any other time in it. And once I beat Super Metroid, I got up my Wii U, and I downloaded Fusion, and I downloaded Zero Mission, blasted through Fusion, blasted through Zero Mission. I actually wound up going back and playing both of them right afterwards. Fusion, then Zero Mission, then I did Fusion, and then Zero Mission again. And then I was just kind of on the lookout for to get Samus Returns and Dread. Dread I always knew I could get, but I wanted to get a physical copy of Samus Returns. So through months of losing eBay bids, you try, you lose, you give up for a while, you try, you lose. Finally, I just hit a point where I'm like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to go buy Dread. It is what it is. The day I bought Dread, I got home. 10 minutes later, I won a bid for Samus Returns. So I basically played them both side by side until I beat them both. I beat Dread first, then I beat Samus Returns afterwards. And actually right now, I'm just going back and I'm restarting Super. But when it comes to the Prime series, I want to play. I do. But physical copies are hard to come by, and my Wii U is completely full. I don't have the room to download the trilogy, which is easily the best way to get it right now. So as soon as I get like an external hard drive or something, unless somebody out there listening, you've got a better suggestion for me how to do it, let me know, because I really want to play the Prime games. I've heard nothing but good things about them. I'm really excited to play them at some point, especially using the Wiimote. I have heard that that is the best way to play those games on the trilogy with the Wiimote. So let me know if anybody's got any suggestions who went through the same thing I'm going through. So what I'm here to do today is I'm just going to basically be ranking the 2D games. The original all the way up through Dread, just the 2D ones for now. I'm going to do something special with, the Prime series when I actually get to play them someday and I come back and review them. So today we're just going to kind of do a ranking tier list of what I think of these games. And in the future, I'm hoping to do individual reviews of each one. So if you enjoy my style, what I'm doing right here, please let me know below. The encouragement is what will push me to want to do more of this. So guys, let's get to ranking these games. Alright, so, not gonna lie, I have not beaten this game yet. And it's not because I haven't tried, I have. But it's... I'm one of those people, like, I just need a map. I can't... I don't suck at games that don't have maps, but I'm just so accustomed to them that not having one is really a detriment. And I've tried, I really have. I get lost, and the whole getting killed, going all the way back to the beginning, restarting on everything. I don't want to say it kind of breaks your spirit, but for me, it's just like, you think you get so far, you get killed, go all the way back. And I get that that's how games were. I'm not holding that against this game. It's just, I'm not saying this game isn't for me. I am going to beat it one day. I will beat it before I will review it. That is a promise. Because I am still working away at it. I've got a file going. I enjoy playing it. It's weird because I'm really not the biggest NES fan, but there's a few games I love. And honestly, this is one of those games I think if there had been a map with this game, this could easily have been probably like one of my favorite NES games ever. But as it stands right now, I honestly still have fun playing it. I like Samus's controls. I like the challenge it presents. But like I said, it's just that lack of a map really hurts the game for me. I understand how some people can look at the not having a map and be like, that's the fun of it. Absolutely. But you know what? Super has a map, and the exploration in that is a lot more fun. So when it comes to the original Metroid, I'm just going to go with it good. Because I've seen some people be like, oh, it's really not that good of a game. It's pretty bad. And you know what? In some senses it could be, but you know what? I'm not giving it a pass based on nostalgia of that's the best they could do at the time, because that's not an excuse. But you know what? I still think it holds up. I really do. Like I said, I'm going to beat it one day. So the next one, Metroid 2, The Return of Samus for Game Boy. This is the only one I'm not rating just because I have not had a chance to play it yet. I've been looking, and short of emulation, which I might have to resort to one day, but I'm one of those people, I like either physical copies or I like the digital downloads. And I have not been able to find a digital copy, or I have not been able to find a physical copy of this game for like less than $45. And I'm like, I'm not paying $45 for an old Game Boy game. It's not happening. So if anyone out there knows anywhere I can play it online or something, please let me know. I really want to play it. Next. Super Metroid. This game needs no real introduction. Anyone who knows anything about Metroid knows just what a legend this game truly is. And being the first one I played and beat, it will always have that special place in my heart of being the very first one. But also, without, rose-tinted glasses or anything, it is an incredible game for the Super Nintendo. I mean, the Super Nintendo is one of my favorite systems. It's got some of my favorite games of all time on it. And Super Metroid, I can see why so many people hold this game so dear to their heart. The exploration, the first time I was playing it was a blast. I was going to say this took me weeks to beat. And I don't mean weeks of nonstop playing. I mean weeks of like a couple hours here or there. I got work I got to go to. I got other stuff in life. But now that it's winter and it's cold, I'm sure I got more time. I actually just started a new file. And knowing all the tips and tricks, like knowing how to do, wall jumps. First time I played, I didn't learn that until you were forced to. So now that I know it, it's helped me get around, and I'm playing the game in a whole new way, especially knowing where I'm going, how to face all the bosses. It's just added more to the fun of replaying the game. So Super Metroid, of course, gets an amazing, because that's exactly what it is. This is one of those games I highly suggest to anyone who has not played it. But same as me, map your buttons that work right for you, because if not, you're not going to like it, same as I did. Or you're just going to accept it and be like, this is so difficult. I don't understand how people have fun with this. But so map those buttons, absolute blast. So, following Super Metroid, we got Fusion. Fusion, to me, goes right here in great. Fusion was an amazing game. The GBA, I think, has some incredible games on it, some incredible ports. Like, two of my favorite games on the GBA are the Golden Sun games. Absolutely amazing. And playing Metroid Fusion, I was just like, and this was when I downloaded for the Wii U off the eShop. I was like, this was a Game Boy Advance game? I was like, this looks incredible. The cutscenes look amazing. The art looks amazing. I love the way they kind of fixed some of Samus's. What I love about it mostly is the fixed Samus's jump controls, because she was a little bit floaty up here in Super, and I didn't really notice it until I hit Fusion, and then that's when I was like, oh, I love these jump controls way more. The only reason Fusion is going into great instead of amazing, honestly, is just because the exploration is kind of gone, aside from, you know, just bombing random walls to find the areas of the station you're not really supposed to be in. But, I mean, other than that, it's like, I love, like I said, I love the controls that they had to kind of reduce down a little bit. The SAX is an incredible presence throughout this whole game, following you around. You're scared being around it. I like the fact that they brought in the X, because after Super Metroid, when the final Metroid was killed, when the Super Metroid was killed fighting Mother Brain, it's kind of like, all right, what do you do next? And I thought that was cool that they expanded on the lore by introducing the X as, you know, now they're starting to thrive now that the Metroids are gone, following what Samus did in The Return of Samus, or Samus Returns, whichever one. So Metroid Fusion absolutely gets a great. Like I said, I've played and beaten it twice. I love it. I'd love a physical copy of it for like to play on my SP sometime. That'd be a great blast. But for now, I'm perfectly fine settling with playing it on the big screen with the Wii U. Next game, Zero Mission. This is how you do a remake. I personally love everything about Zero Mission. I love the way it feels, I love the way it looks, and it's incredible because it's basically, it added in the stuff that Fusion took out. It put back in that exploration. And even though Zero Mission is short, even the first time I played and beat this game, I beat it in maybe 4 or 5 hours. And it's funny because I'm sitting there going, if I paid for this as a full price on a Game Boy Advance when I was younger, and when I was younger I was much better at gaming, I'm sure I would have beaten it probably faster, and I'd have been like, that's it? I beat it that quickly? What a waste of money. But for what I paid for it, I think I paid like $8 or something. That was perfectly fine. And having beaten it twice, it's amazing. I personally love this game. It took everything that the original did. It fixed what didn't work. It ramped everything up to the next level. And I just love that last bit when you're running around in the Zero suit. This game goes right up here into amazing because it is amazing. I love it. Next. The Return of Samus. Alright, so, or Samus Returns. Sorry, Samus Returns for the 3DS. I barely ever play. I have a 2DS. I have one of those like special edition Legend of Zelda ones that's got like on the front of it, it's got like the, looks like the Hylian shield or something. I haven't played that in forever. Finally won a bid for this on eBay. I played the shit out of this game. I literally got it, and if I wasn't playing Dread, I was playing this. And, you know, I've heard the complaints that people give. You know, it gets monotonous with just hunting down the Metroids. You know, oh, it's the same thing over and over. But it's like, this game is full also of the exploration that I thought people loved about this franchise. And I had a blast blasting my way through it. Running into a room because, you know, you go into a room, the little Metroid meter starts going off. You don't know what you're running into. You don't know what kind of Metroid you're going to run into in there. And I just like, I personally just enjoy the whole, you know, clear a section of a certain amount of Metroids, be allowed to go down to the next, because, I mean, you're still allowed to go back up because there's exploration to do with different weapons you get throughout the game. So I think the company that made it, Mercury Steam, I believe, who did this, I thought they did an incredible job. And it's funny, bouncing between this and Dread, I can like see some of the stuff they did here that they fixed in Dread. So definitely, this goes in great. I think this is an incredible game. I'd heard a couple of reviewers, actually 2 reviewers I really love when it comes to games, are King K and Arlo. And I heard both of their reviews for this game before I got it. King K wasn't as big a fan of it as he was AM2R, another one I want to get to one day. I haven't had a chance to play it. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks incredible. It looks amazing. I wish Nintendo had hired that guy. Or I wish they'd just been like, can we buy this off you and we'll make this the official Metroid 2 remake? Because it looked incredible from what I've heard. And I've seen multiple people give great reviews of it. I'm going to play it one day, don't worry. But for what it is, I think the remake of Metroid 2, Samus Returns, absolutely incredible game. Goes in great. I would put it in amazing, but it does go in great because while playing it, yes, it did hit points sometimes where it's like, okay, yes, I'm just fighting another alpha. Boom, 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 look how easy this is. It didn't really offer the same type of challenge, I'll say, that Super really offered to me. Alright, here we are at the last one, Metroid Dread. So, I remember hearing the announcement of this, and I was not part of the Metroid community at the time. So I just remember people were hyped for this, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, people are really excited for this. You know, hey, I'm happy for my friends and the reviewers I watch who are getting a game that they've really wanted. And I just remember hearing everyone go on and on about how excited they were, and then when it dropped, just people exploding with excitement over this game. And I was like, I had not even played Super at this point, so I was just like, what is it about this series that people love so much? So that's when, like I said, that's what started me on my journey of going into Super and being like, what do they like about this? And then seeing Map the Controls. And like I said, that's when I was hooked. I wanted to get Dread ever since I beat Super, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold off just because I want to play and beat the other ones first. And I did beat the majority of them before Dread. But when I finally before I bought Dread, like, I downloaded the demo off the eShop just because I'm like, I just want to see what it's like. I literally played that demo for about, I want to say, 2 minutes before I ended it and undownloaded it because I was like, I'm sold already. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. Samus handles probably better than she ever has. And I was like, I gotta go buy it. So I went up to the store, bought it, and then, like I said, I won the bid for Samus Returns minutes later. So I was like, joy, 2 brand new games to jump between for a little bit. But no, Metroid Dread, what absolute masterpiece. I mean, I'm just gonna drop it right where it belongs, right there in amazing, because that is what this is. I honestly think Metroid Dread is my favorite of all of these. It took out, like, it feels like Fusion shoved too much story into it, whereas Samus Returns and we'll just say Zero Mission didn't have enough. And I personally think that Dread balanced the story and exploration and gameplay just perfectly. I mean, this game, for starters, this game also looks beautiful. I've actually seen some people say they're not fans of the Emmys. I loved them. I mean, all right, so it's like in Super, I might have died once or twice. Same, once or twice, once or twice, once or twice, a lot. Here, I died a ton in Dread. Maybe I just suck. I don't know. I just know this game offered the challenge I was looking for. There were times I was irritated. I was upset with the game. I was like, how do I beat this boss? But I told myself, I am not going to cheat on this. I am not cheating because I want to experience and enjoy this game for what it is. And there were some bosses that took me quite a while. There was a couple Emmys that took me a while to get through. I did eventually get the timing down a little bit with the Emmys to do the melee attack and get them off. But again, it was pretty much exactly like the game said. Good luck doing it. It's a very tiny window. But no, Metroid Dread is absolutely amazing. I'd probably put it, Metroid Dread is probably my number one. So if I actually had to I'll just do a quick ranking of, you know, like best to worst of all these games real quick. Metroid Dread is my number one right now. Could change one day. Then Super, then Zero Mission. Then I gotta go Samus Returns, then Fusion, then the original Metroid. I'm sure the Return of Samus would fall somewhere maybe probably before this, from what I've heard, some of the gameplay I've seen, just different reviews I've seen. I think I would like the Return of Samus better than the original Metroid. But at the end of the day, all 6 games that are right here, I personally love all of them. They all mean so much to me, and having only been a big, now Metroid fan, over the past less than a year, I'm so glad to be part of this community. So, like I said, I'm going to play the Prime games someday. I'd like to play other M also, even though I only know a tiny handful of people who've said they enjoy it. The majority do not. But, you know, hey, I got to play it at some point to figure it out for myself. Hopefully I'll get something good out of it. Doesn't seem like a lot of others do. So, guys, thank you for listening into my video. Let me know what you thought of my rankings. How would you rank these games? And like I said, at some point in the future, I would really like to do a video for each one of these games discussing, just breaking it down, reviewing it, what it means to me, how much I enjoyed it, the things I loved, the things I didn't like, suggestions, yada, all that stuff. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon.